All right, y'all. It's that time again. There's a new Digimon series out, and we must follow the time-honored Kevin Central tradition of talking about it week by week until it loses my attention and just kind of becomes something I've just kind of got on in the background. Um, I love Digimon to death. Make no mistake, but I will be the first to acknowledge it doesn't always hit a home run with its series. Which I should probably give a little quick context of at least the two Digimon series I've covered here on the channel. Digimon Adventure 2020 is absolute fucking dog shit. And I hate it and think it might actually be the worst thing the franchise has ever done. I've genuinely never hated anything Digimon has done more than that, if I'm being honest with you. As far as Digimon Ghost Game goes, I really enjoyed it at the beginning. I loved the idea of almost a more horror aspect of Digimon. There's some really good, like, intense moments in that show. A lot of, like, what the fuck type shows. If you're younger than like 13, this is probably the coolest shit you've ever seen. Hell, I'd be lying if I said there weren't many episodes that did keep me thoroughly entertained. But as is the problem with all modern Digimon, the obsession with keeping it being episodic and keeping everything very simplistic for more younger audiences definitely, I think, wound up holding it back and did just turn it into a show that I would just catch up on, never really have enough thoughts for a video, and when it wrapped, I was like, oh, okay, that just sort of came and went. And before many of you say, well, Digimon is a kid's show. The thing about Digimon is what I think really made it stand out for us back in the day was, while it was definitely for kids, it never felt like it was talking down to children. It wasn't afraid to have more advanced themes for kids. Rather, it's living up to expectation. Rather, it's things like divorce. Rather, it's things like issues at home or at school, or just other things that kids actually go through that we want our media to talk about, but don't always do it, or at least not in a way that I think kids can really relate to. And I think Digimon always did. And unfortunately, most of the more modern-ish shows, I don't really think have ever gone back to that. And that's why I kind of want to use this as the lead into talking about Beatbreak episode 1. Because Digimon Beatbreak, the first episode, I knew nothing about it going into it. I saw the poster and that was it. But what I liked about this was this felt like the first time Digimon was making a really big swing. Everything from the way it just throws you in to this future society where Digimon are kind of like a growing presence, and just that opening scene alone of like this robber being stopped by these two waifu chicks. I hope they're over 18, otherwise this is going to get awkward. They're going to be under 18. I'm like, God damn it, Digimon. But yeah, no, that whole opening fight was just so cool. I love the visual style and how similar it is to our war game, the Omnimon movie, for those of you who don't remember. Just such a great way to throw you right in the thick of it. You're so into the action, you're so into the visual style and everything just going on. I think it's a really great way to make you go like, whoa, I gotta see where this is going. And thankfully, while the rest of the episode I think never really gets as over the top as that does, I think the episode does a really good job of keeping the audience's attention throughout the rest of it. After that opening fight scene, where many people are complaining they call it Fun Beamon instead of Fan Beamon, but what are you gonna do? Also, that was weird when we zoomed into the guy's ear and saw his eardrum like rupture. What a weird shot. But yeah, so then we go to the regular world where we meet this girl character. I haven't remembered any names yet. I will not, probably for the first 3 or 4 episodes. Get used to it, people! But yeah, so you have this girl, and she's just a normal girl in this society. I think that actually is a really nice way to present the world logical. Just like a perfectly normal everyday teen going through it. You see how it's similar to our regular society, i.e. the phone basically controls everything, but seeing how things have evolved. The phone is now a little talking egg-shaped robot. I wonder if that's a nod to Tamagotchi, since Tamagotchi came first, and then that inspired Bandai to make a boy version, which was Digimon. I might be reaching, but it wouldn't shock me too much. We see how just like everyone's lives are now pretty much ran by their phones. And also, it seems they have a little chip in their hand that allows their own brain energy stuff to pilot or to charge the phone. I don't know how I feel about that. I always kind of have this thing with, I'm just going to use the general term of like chip in the brain type sci-fi of just being like, how do we get to this point? Also, 2050 doesn't feel that far away for us to be here, especially what happens next, but that's a personal gripe. But I like that we do see just kind of like how this world is ran. We saw how needing to use your device is just everything, like it is with our modern day phones, but how that has now kind of like moved forward in a way that doesn't feel dystopian, but you do see how that will become a plot issue going forward. Rather, it's making sure you get to school on time. If there's an issue for your device and you have trouble with getting lunch, making purchases, all of these little things I thought was just really nice little world building that keeps the world relatable, but also showing to you what kind of world we are. We then naturally have it that this girl encounters our main character, edgy glasses boy dude with drumsticks. I feel like every anime in the mid-2000s had this character. Kind of funny to see it come back. But yeah, so she meets this guy, and he has, and again, this is kind of like where my gripe comes. He has an issue with his, what was it called, e-pulse, where it causes her device to go haywire. So if this is a thing in this world, does this happen often? Or do the devices have like software to protect them? Is this a known thing? We see how it kind of makes her day more chaotic. So yeah. But yeah, no, eventually they reunite, where it's revealed he is a drummer. He doesn't overtly care about like tech, or we see like this big like egg-rich neighborhood thing. We'll see what that is later. And he's just like this dude, he wants to drum. We get a flashback later of him being a kid and like really looking up to his brother and his parents and music. And I think that's a really nice way to set up what his drama might be or where things might go for him. We see how when he was a kid, how fun and cool life seemed to him. And now he's older. We don't know where his parents are. We don't know why they're living in like what looks like a flooded out apartment building, which that whole area looked really cool. I wonder what the hell happened there. And it's just him and his brother, who we kind of get the impression now has to be more of a parental role and is much more serious than what we saw in the flashback. Showing him in the flashback first, I think, was really clever, because now we have one idea of what he's like, i.e. how he was in the past, and in the present, it's much, much different. So I quite enjoyed that. So then you find out, and again, this is another part of my issue, apparently people's e-pulses, or people are interpreting it as, the e-pulse causes you to literally freeze? What? Like, what is that about? And again, naturally, you find out a little bit later, it's Digimon doing it, because naturally, our main character is like to the brother, why is my e-pulse like this? And he's like, I'll totally tell you later. Let me save the girl, and then I'll tell you everything you need to know. Oh shit, I'm attacked by some weird hyena Digimon, and now I'm frozen. Oh, well. But yeah, Geckomon shows up, and he wants the main character's e-pulse. I love that Geckomon is kind of monstrous. Like, he's cute, and he's got the cutesy voice, but you kind of still feel like he'll just eat you if he feels like it, which he literally does to the main character later. So I thought that was pretty cool. I love him, like, trying to, like, run from the hyenas, going through this abandonment, like, what the fuck happened in this society? And the episode ends with Geckomon swallowing him. Someone's gonna make weird pornography about that. This is the Digimon community. And the episode ends with the two deciding to team up to both avenge his brother, the Geckomon to eat more of the main character's e-pulse, and I assume solve the mysteries of the Digimon and what is going on. Cut to credits, and both the opening credits and end credits are so badass, I love them. And yes, that is my very long-winded discussion about Digimon Beatbreak Episode 1. Putting it simply, I really liked it. I thought this was such a strong start, and really, you do feel like there's a bit of a shot of adrenaline in this show. Digimon, I think, has been missing for a long time, so I really hope the momentum keeps going, and we can proudly say we have the next great Digimon series on our hands. But until then, Comment below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Are you excited of the show? Do you want me to keep doing this? These are going to be kind of just low effort. I'll just have like one picture up while I just talk for like 10 minutes. Just kind of like the easiest way for me to kind of handle things right now. And I do want to get another video out during the week, but we'll worry about that later. As always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me for more Digimon.